Hello everybody, and today we're making a share invite to people with emails, multiple emails, send invites, design, and a little bit of script as well. Let's go ahead, grab your coffee. Delicious. And let's start coding, baby. So, first things first, I use Visual Studio Code, as you all know. What we'll need to get first is a font. So what I use in almost everything is Noto-sans, which supports many languages. Right, so we're taking everything except the italic, so we're getting the light 300, 400. Let's get all of those and put those in our CSS. We don't need the italic ones, so click here, import, and copy and paste that. Into our CSS we go, and we import this font right here. We can place a comment as well to say this is fonts. So now, what I'm going to do is begin with box sizing border box, padding to all the things 0, margin 0 pixels, and that's all I need, I think. Now we're going to import the font family to all of those. Noto-sans, actually we can copy and paste it from here. What is it? Font family Noto-sans, sans serif. Here in the body we have a background of linear gradient, so this gives us two colors basically. 90 degrees, so it can be in the middle, the line could be in the middle. It separates the two colors basically, and I have one color here to the left of mine and one color here to the right of mine. If I put 60% here, they're gonna go a little bit wider than the right color, but whatever. So first things first, I'm gonna make a container for all of this, which is going to be called send invite container, like so. And let's visualize it, how it will be, right? I will have a div class header, send, I'm gonna call it header, just header. So now I want to make this to go to the middle. You don't have to, but I will show you how to actually set things to the middle of the screen. I'll put it in the middle, but you can put it wherever you want to, it doesn't matter. The body has position relative, and this container has position absolute. I'm gonna say left 50%, top 50%, transform, translate, all of that. Width is going to be 500 pixels, let's say, and height for now it will be 60 pixels. Background color will be white, and voila. Not what I wanted actually. Well, this should work, but the body doesn't have a actual height, so that's why it doesn't work. Yeah, there we go. So now we have this right here, huh? I'm just gonna take the header and style it. So I'm gonna take the header from here and say like background color will be, this is a nice color, I love this color, it's a red one, wait for it, there we fucking go. and then I'm gonna say width 100 pixels, so it's gonna take the whole width of the container as we want to, and then I'm gonna say that the height is going to be 60 pixels. So that's our header right there. What about min height? Because we're pros and we know better stuff, right? Whatever. I'm gonna make this a little bit transparent. No, I'm joking. Yeah, like that. Alright, that's cool. Now what I'm going to do is we need actually a something that says that it's a share, right? So we need this to be there. Margin 0 pixels, that needs us actually for the h3 tag. The h3 tag automatically has some margin to it, so we disable the margin by putting the disclaimer for all the elements that we don't want margin in our tags, in our elements. Now I'm going to say that this is a display flex, so this is a flex box now. The header, I'm gonna say align item center, and what's this? The cell goes to the center of the header. Woo! Crazy stuff, boy. That's some crazy ass shit. Okay. So now the flex direction will be row, but we'll get to that in a minute. If you don't know what that does. Header, let's take the header h3 and put it of color, I'm sorry for that, color white, and let's put the font weight to 300. Now the 300 is imported right here, so this is a light, weight for the font text. If I put this to like 500, you see it's getting bolder. I want the 300 there for a personal use. So now another cool add-on library actually to add is FontAwesome Icons. It's pretty legit. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna get the closing tag from this library. You will see what I mean. So we copy the link tag of the library and we put it in our HTML right there. It's pretty cool. What's this? So we have the library of FontAwesome, and on the FontAwesome side we're searching for close, and we get the X mark. That's what I want. Start using this icon. We copy the code snippet and we paste it into our header, inside our header actually. So now what I'm going to do is the flex direction row means not flex direction row, I'm sorry. Flex direction row, it means that the elements are in a row, but if you do flex direction column to your flex box, it actually, the elements go, in the order that they should be, but in columns rather than row. But we want this to be row. Justify content now, space between. And that does that. It separates the elements between them. We actually want to add the padding to it, so the padding will be 0 pixels, 22 pixels, 0 pixel, 15 pixels. So what does that do? As you can see, it pushes the elements a little bit more in to the header. The padding 0, this is the top padding, this is the right padding, this is the bottom padding, this is the left padding. It goes like the order of the clock, you know. Now let's take the actual icon. To make it bigger, we put a FontAwesome to it, where font size, font size 22 pixels, you see it grows, 26, I'm gonna leave it at 28 or something. The color of this beautiful thing is going to be white. So now we have that, looks great, fantastic. Now I'm gonna make a container for the content. So div class content, add people. So the content will have a width of, let's tell the content first and then we will move on. Alright, so the content will have a padding of 25 pixels. So all of the 4 positions in the content will have 25 pixels, top, right, bottom, left. Then I'm gonna say that it has a margin top of 20 pixels. I just wanted to go a little bit further down. So now content, we're checking the content and we're putting h3. We're targeting the h3 of the content, the add people. We're gonna say font size to, we're not gonna change the font size, but the font weight just to 500, and text transform to capitalize, which will capitalize the letters, the first character of the letters of the paragraph. And now we're actually going to make the input. We're first gonna have a wrapper around it, which we'll call add people input wrapper, just the input wrapper. The input wrapper will have, you will see where this will go in a moment, but we're going to style it and we're going to say display flex to it, a width of 100% as always, min height 42 pixels, and margin top 10 pixels. You don't see nothing now, but that's the plan. I'm a magician. I'm just kidding. Right. Right now. We're gonna make a div of add people input. Alright. The add people input will have a width of 300 pixels, min height 100% because we have a height right there, so we don't need to have the exact same height in this. Also, I'm going to call it position relative. It's going to have a border of 2 pixels, so solid D7077. It's gonna have a display flex. row gap between the flex blocks of 10 pixels. Column gap of this is going to have 4 pixels, and you will see in a moment what all of this does, because you're probably confused. Flex wrap, wrap. I'm gonna demonstrate it all when it is done. Padding 8 pixels and 8 pixels, which means padding 8 pixels. Alright, so we have this right here, huh? Pretty cool. Right, the input wrapper actually needs to go to the content. I don't know why I put that there. Let's make a div again. Permissions. Add people permissions. I'm gonna call it permissions. Or add people permissions. So the add people permissions, we have a style to it as well. The style will be position relative, mean width of 50 pixels, max height of 42 pixels, which will be the height of this element. Display flex, align item center, justify content space between, justify content center, I'm sorry. It will center the elements inside of it. Background color will be E0, 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 and the border left of that is going to be 1 pixel solid, D7, 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 and it's gonna have a pointer. The cursor of it will be pointer. I'm actually dumb. This needs to be inside the input wrapper. So there we go. What do we have here? The input wrapper, as you can see, which is this flex box, and now we have the add people input, which will hold the input for the multiple email holder, and then we're going to have the add people permissions, which is going to be a toggle menu of the options that the admin, let's say, wants to add to those emails, to those users. If they can view, they can explore, they can edit. Alright, so let's customize the add people permissions inside. Holy crap, I'm sorry for that. Jesus. Right, so let's go to the FontAwesome and let's grab the FAI, maybe just I. Right, so we take this, right, let's go with the free version. Let's actually take this. If it is free, whatever, we can use it. So now we have this icon right here, and we want to carry it down icon. Yep, that's the one. There's a pro icon, so we can't use that. We will use the bold one right there. Boom. Now what's this? The colors of those will be a little bit lighter. They will be black but a little bit lighter. So we will say that the colors of those will be 222. Boom. And now this is the result that we have done. Let's take the actual FA carrot down and put a little bit of margin left to it, so they're a little bit separated from each other. So margin left 8 pixels or something. Whoa, like that. This is cool. The font size of the icons, down 16 pixels, right? So you can see that the input is slowly coming to light. Okay, let's go to the actual input now, because this is the most complicating thing I've done in a while. Let's open the tags from the add people input. Here we're going to have a P. A P? What are you talking about, John? Come on. Yes, a P. A class of input, row, text box. It's going to be content editable. And data placeholder is going to be enter email addresses. Let's see, add people input. I'm gonna target the input. It's gonna have a max width of 100, flex grow of 1, outline none, margin left 5 pixels, white space normal, color this. So we're gonna call the empty pseudocode, and before we'll have a color of B9. This will be a light gray, and the content inside will be at the attribute. We're gonna call the attribute of the data placeholder. So boom, now we have the placeholder. Now when it's empty, look, it has a placeholder, but if I type something, it disappears. It's like a placeholder. So why do we have a P there? Because we need to display all the emails from here to here without interfering with the input actual wrapping of the text, which will go, you see, it will go down. But if we had an input actual element, it would go from here and would continue from there on. So we don't want that. So that's a little bit of a hacking method, but but it's okay. On the hover of the input, we're gonna have a cursor of text. As you can see, we made a paragraph into an input, which is ridiculous. Oh my god. but it's all working out great, so no complaints. Alright, so now we have that. Cool, awesome, and great. Boom. So now on the enter, when the user clicks enter on their keyboards, we want to save this as a Gmail and have a placeholder right there, but we will do this in the next video of JavaScript. Alright, so let's make the menu now, the drop down menu. The menu is going to be made by a div, which will have a class of permissions menu. Alright, let's go ahead and place our options right here, a div class of the permission options. Option, we will have three options: can view, can explore, and can edit. So can view, can explore, can edit. This looks ugly right now, but stay with me. Let's go ahead and start the permissions menu class. It's gonna have a position absolute, so it doesn't bother the other elements. Keep in mind that the container of the permissions menu is position relative, so that way it works. It's relative to the container. We're gonna have a width of 270, 70 pixels. What am I talking about? Bottom 0%, left 0%. Let's add a background color to it, see how it looks like now. Right, cool. A BoxShadow. BoxShadow like that, a Z index of 2, and a padding of 20 pixels and 0 pixels, right? Now to make it go, let's remove the bottom version, and you will see it. It is placed in the center right now, but if we put bottom 0%, it goes from here, it starts from here. If we put top 0%, it starts from the top of the container. We're gonna put bottom for now, because we're gonna move it. The 0% is for the left and right position. The second attribute right here is for the top and bottom, so we do 100 of its actual size, whatever size it has. We are moving it 100 of its size down. So we'll put 50 here, it should be in the center, practically in the center. But as you can see, with the work of bottom 0 and transform translate, we can make it go exactly where we want it to be without much code involved. So now you can see that this works fine for us. So now let's actually make this, we're gonna have a description as well, so let's call it option description. Let's make it like that, option description. Let's call it like this, option description. Can explore, can edit. Alright. This will have an h3. This will be an h3 tag. And then a paragraph which will say people can view this design, this project, let's say this project. Then people can explore this project, people can edit this project. So we have that for now. Option. It will have a padding of 0 pixels and 20 pixels. All of them. It will be a display flex because we're gonna have the check mark as well up there. A margin top for those of 16 pixels. Right. All of those will have margin top of 16 pixels, but the first one won't have because it ruins our design, as you can see. I'm so sorry. As you can see now, first block now doesn't have margin, which is cool, great, awesome, fantastic. Let's go ahead and pick our check mark. So check mark. Let's use this icon and put it in our index HTML. We're gonna have a check mark in all the options, but we will hide. We will show only one, despite on what he clicks, but that's on the JavaScript part. So let's actually edit this thing now. Edit the icon. Option I. The font size will be 20 pixels. Alright. Margin right. We want to have 20 pixels. Alright, color 1C, 1C, 1C. Cool, I like it so far. Margin top, so it matches the description position. Margin top 3 pixels, so I can go a little bit down. That's great. I think we're good. And now we're gonna say visibility hidden, right? Because none of them are checked actually. But if we place permissions menu option and we call this active, we will say that the visibility is visible. actually. So in the JavaScript part, when we click on the div, the actual div right here, the option, he will choose, when he clicks, the icon will be visible, because we're gonna add the active class to the option, not the I. So if he clicks on the option will have, we will add automatically with JavaScript a class active. So this will be, let's say we click the first option, now it has a class of active. Now boom, the icon shows up, because in our CSS we have an option, we have an element which has a class of option and active as well. You see this has an active, so it's active. If you go to the second one and put active, it's active as well, and you get a point, I think. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me about anything that I show you right here. I will be more happy than you think to answer you. Okay. Sorry for the camera if the camera didn't collaborate with me. Now let's go to the option description and do some work there, because we need to actually customize the H3 tag. H3 tag, we have a font size of 17 pixels, a color of 15, 15, 15, like so, and the text transform capitalize. It will capitalize the letters. Well, yeah, alright, cool. A font weight, what? A font weight of 50, of 500, 600, what do you want? Let's make it 600, whatever. Now let's customize the paragraph. Option oh shit, I'm sorry. Option description P. It will have a color of 5B, 5B, 5B. Font size of 20 pixels. Holy crap, this is so small. 14 pixels, 15 pixels. 15 pixels will be good. Margin top, a little bit of margin top of 1 pixel, just 1 pixel. Look at this. Yep, perfection is right here. Alright, let's add the period at the end of each paragraph. Alright. I think we're done here for the first episode. Let's put on the first option, let's put the class active, just to see the check mark. So yeah, this will be active by default actually. So if we click on the JavaScript part, if we click here, we will remove this check mark from here, the class active, and put the class active to the second option. You get the point. On the third click, on the third option, if we click the third option will have a check mark, and all of the others won't have it. So there you go, that's the first part. I hope you enjoyed it. in the next part we're gonna make a section right here who has access, and we're gonna have a name, an email, a little bit of sections right here that you can edit later. So we will have a box right here which will say can edit, can view, and so forth, so on. But for now, let's do a little bit, let's do something else as well. We haven't finished yet. I'm actually a little bit down. We want to have the send button. Before I finish, I want to create the send invite button. Alright. This whole permissions menu, let's go back in the permissions menu and put it as this visibility hidden or display none. So now it's gone. But if the permissions menu has an active class, you get the point, it's gonna be display block. So if I put it active here, it will activate the menu, drop down menu. This is how it will work on the JavaScript part. Adding, removing classes, all of that stuff, it's gonna be in a video, on the part 3 video. Let's make the button. Yeah, let's make the button. Sorry for wasting so much time, but right. Under the add people permissions, we're going to add an inside the input wrapper, not the input wrapper, the content. We want to have it in the content. We will place a button which will have a class of send invite button, send invite. Yeah, in here we're going to have send invite as our text, and it's right there. We want this to be aligned in the right direction of the content container. So we're grabbing this class of this element, button send invite. We send that the height is 38 pixels, width I have 50 pixels. That's looking a lot better. For sure. Background color be the same color as the header. Text transform, let's put outline none, let's put border none, let's put text transform uppercase. That's looking so good right now. Float right, a margin top of 20 pixels, and font size 15 pixels, and opacity 06, 07. Why do you have this right here? And cursor not allowed, not allowed, because we haven't put any emails. That's the whole point of this video, of these videos. The user will add an email, let's say gmail.com, and when he presses enter, we will store that email in a container, a little container right here, and then or if you press enter or space, the email will be entered into this P input that we have made with those styling methods. And when at least one email has been entered, this button will be activated. So when it's activated, it's going to have an opacity 1 and a cursor pointer. So let's see the difference. You see this right here. If we add active to this button, boom, we make it like that. But in the next parts, in the next episode of this series on share add people emails and permissions of your project, design / scripts, development, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Alright guys, thank you for this first episode, this first part. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. I will have a website called simplycoding.site, which you can buy my courses on HTML or CSS or JavaScript, or how to land your first job, the essentials of landing your first job with extra tips which the other courses won't have, and real life projects that I've made and designs, how to transfer a design to an actual website as a front-end developer. So if you want to land your first job easily, simply just coding, I will make it simple for you. I will have these courses, but for now the website is not done yet, so in a couple of weeks it will be. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next episode part, I'm gonna continue with the HTML and CSS. On the third part, I'm going to add the JavaScript fundamentals in there and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.